Peace and blessings. This is Nubia, I, the raw food goddess, the womb priestess, and the holistic practitioner. Good morning, women who run with the womb. Y'all, it is so beautiful in California. The weather is amazing. It is truly spring in the Bay Area. I am in the yard, in the sun with you, and I'm so happy. A couple of reminders before we go on with the lesson for today. Tomorrow I'll be doing my free group conference call for everyone, all the viewers and subscribers of YouTube and anybody, your friends, your family. It's from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's what that is. And I hope you all can join. If not, it's going to be recorded, and I'll definitely upload it to the group page, so do not worry about it. I'm going to just kind of go into the womb and other things that maybe I haven't mentioned, but a lot of things that I did mention on our last call. So yeah, if you're interested, you know where to go. It's going to be the same number, and I'll leave that number in the description box so that you could participate. I am still dry fasting, can you tell? So my energy is still very inner. Remember, ladies, if you are a meat and potato sister, if you're coming from a heavy meat diet, if you've not really done a lot of water fast or juice fast or fasting of any kind, even a raw food fast, you don't want to jump into dry fasting as intense as I'm doing. So I recommend definitely the detox, and after the detox you can dry fast. But I say that everybody can do some level of dry fasting. And then what I mean by that is you're already dry fasting when you sleep for 8 hours. So if you woke up and didn't eat right away for 2 hours, you just added 10 hours of dry fasting. You're just now doing 10 hours of dry fasting by adding 2 more hours of not eating or drinking. If you want to go 3 more hours, you may find by 12 noon you were ready to eat, you're ready to drink, and you probably dry fasted for 4 more hours than you normally would, and that's okay. And then you stop there. If that's too harsh for you, you actually say, well, I'm only going to drink water or just smoothies until 12 noon, and I won't have any solid food. I've advised if you're coming from a meat and potato kind of diet, then that one would be more advisable. What I want is to not eat so much dense foods upon rising, because you're breaking the fast, but your body's going to go into a shock because it's been fasting for so many hours that everybody could do well by not eating as soon as they get up, waiting an hour or 2 or 3 or even 4. For those that are more advanced, that's been on a vegan diet for a long time, that's been doing raw food, I think that you can do at least a 16-hour dry fast, and that would include stop eating at 2. When you wake up, eat again at 7 a.m. Stop eating at 2 p.m. and just fast, dry fast, no food, no water. 7 a.m. you can eat again. Stop eating at 2 and keep going. So, or you come up with your own way of dry fasting. It really is something about not eating that allows you, and drinking to allow you to know that you have enough. And also you'll lose so much waste, so much dead, defective cells that you're holding on to, that you'll be able to really get to your womb. I know many of you may be asking, why does she keep focusing on dry fasting? When are we going to hear about womb stuff? Even though I gave you womb remedies, what I'm finding is what you want from the womb can only give you. And what you want from the womb, your womb can only give you. Your womb speaks it to you. But if you can't hear her because you're so dense, because you're eating these heavy foods that keep you so dense where nothing can penetrate you, when you meet spirit, and you're meeting your higher spirit, you're meeting that on a higher level. So that means you have to be light so that you can float, so that you can be at that higher level. So when you're not able to hear your womb, a lot of times because you're so dense, she can't get through. She's got all this stuff on top of her, and she really needs to be free. And so that's why I continue. So I want you to, because we're coming on to the summer solstice, the spring equinox, I'm rushing, the spring equinox, that's a great time to fast in general, but that's also a great time for your womb to tell you all the great things that you've done thus far. Many of you have been in this group since December. So all those things you did, get ready to reap the benefits. Get ready to reap what you've sown all winter and all fall. Please know this, that you did more than you think. And you think that there's more to do, and of course there is, but now is a time of celebration. Celebration for reaping, celebration of a good crop, which is you. So don't get so focused on always healing that you don't enjoy. You've done a lot. Allow those things that you've done to manifest into the things that you want. They already are done. Now all you have to do is allow, and you allow by getting out the way. And so why I always, I guess, talk about fasting or dry fasting is you're truly getting out the way when you're allowing all those things that get in the way to be released. And sometimes it's food and water because it's a distraction. So you're going to reap. Like, I want to hear testimonies of all the wonderful things that's happening once that spring equinox come in. You sowed good seeds. You're going to reap from those good seeds sown. So I really wanted you to know that. I want to make sure before I go on that everybody knows that the summer intensive is now on the website. It's $97. It's going to start in July, and all the information is on the website. So please remember, for Women Who Run With The Womb, you get to pay in 2 payments. Now there is something about the 2 payments I must say. I'm going to accept 2 payments of $57. So you're going to wind up paying $114 for the class as opposed to $97, but you get the benefit of having that time. So your first non-refundable deposit of $57, I'll accept, and then 2 weeks later, your final deposit, your final payment, your balance of another $57. So yes, you pay about $15, $16, $17 more, but you're paying also to have that more time. So I want people to know that if you want to send your $57 deposit today, you can send it through a donation. You know that donation is still on PayPal, so I get an email alert and I send that information. I send you an email saying I got it, I got your initial non-refundable deposit, and then 2 weeks later it'll be due, the remaining balance. So I just wanted to let you know, people wanted to know the breakdown. But okay, so thank you for listening for that. And I'm also going to have a great fall intensive that is coming. It is either going to be lessons for the would-be healer and really how to be that holistic practitioner, or it's going to be fatherless issues and how to really heal those fatherless issues before we could even go to be anything. It's to let go of the past so we can fully live in the present. So we'll talk about that, but that's going to be a fall intensive. It's going to be a 3-month program. And of course, you all will get a special preferred pricing for that. It's going to be offered to everyone, but you'll get a preferred pricing. All right, so let's get back right here, right now. One of the things that I want to take for this week also, besides of course the fasting and what that is you must get out in nature. And I know a lot of you are still in places where, I think Taliba, you said that it was actually snowing where you were. I'm not sure what's happening I know that's the Midwest. I'm not sure what's fully happening on the East Coast, but I'm hoping that the weather is warming up. Even if the weather is not warm, you want to put yourself in nature. Even if you have to use your mind, your visualization skills, you have to see yourself in the grass. You have to, as I'm doing now, take off these sandals and put them on the earth. Put your feet on the earth, and the bottom of your feet is receiving the chi from the earth, is receiving the minerals and the nutrients from the earth, and even the moisture from the earth. Oh, my stomach, I could feel, my stomach is feeling like it's, I don't know, there's just activity in my stomach when I put my feet on the ground right now. It felt great. It's almost like my stomach wanted to get hungry, and the earth started to feed her. And once it started feeding her, I feel fine, I feel great. So that's a wonderful way to dry fast also, is to put your feet on the ground without shoes. You want to get in the sun and feel the sun on your face. It's another way of giving you nutrients. But what it's doing for your womb is, when your womb is in a relaxed state, and when your womb, which is part of nature and creates in a natural state, when your womb does that and is connected to things of itself, it becomes more activated. It becomes higher in its power. It becomes more powerful. So your womb, why your womb has the ability to get you where you want to go and what you want, is because it's in the womb that we hold our blockages. So it's in our womb that we hold all the things that we think are not good enough about us. Like we might think that we're too thin, or we're too heavy, or we've got love handles, or we're not, or we're not voluptuous enough, or we're too flat, or our hair's too short, or our hair's not in good condition, or we got all these things that we think about ourselves that are holding us back, or we have these falsehoods about who we think we are and want to be, and our womb just keeps recording all of this information, and it's kind of being very objective. The womb is just saying, look, I'm not judging any of it, I'm just recording it, but I'm recording your judgments as well of it. So the womb doesn't judge you, you judge yourself, and the womb records it. So how do we go to a recorder? What do we do when we don't want what's on the tapes anymore? We either tape over it, or we erase the tapes. And so you can choose which one. So if you want to erase the tapes, let's talk about erasing the tapes. That means we have to go back and listen to what's on the tapes, just like a cassette player. Let me see what's on this tape and see if I still want it. And if as you go back and listen to the tape, and listen to it in its entirety, and for you, I would say, and record what's on the tape, you can decide what you want to take off the tape and what you want to record over. And if this tape is something you want to record over, or if you just want to erase it all together and start anew and record anew. You can record over the tapes if it's very difficult for you to let go of what is on the tape, and you find that it's easier for you to just record over the tape. One way of recording over the tape is doing affirmations and or visualizations, where if that's more realistic for you, you certainly are going to record over the old issues, and in a sense, thus erasing it, because you won't hear them, you won't see them, they won't be there anymore. So I'm all for recording over the tape as well, if that method works best for you. Because what you're doing with the womb is you're assisting her in letting go. She can only hold so much. I mean, even when you're pregnant and you're holding your baby, it's still only for 9 months or 10 months, some people say, but it's still only for 9 months. If you held it any longer, now we're in danger zone. So can you imagine that your womb is holding things for years in the area of your gestation, where you gestate, where you carry, where you create? And a living life can't go more than 9 months or 9.5 months inside your womb. But your womb issues have been there for 9 years, 10, 20, 30, and 40. And then we keep piling more on her because we won't erase the tape, or we won't re-record over the tape. So you have to listen to the recordings of your womb. She speaks to you. Okay, then you may ask, well, how does she speak to me? Sister Nubia, give me some examples of my womb speaking to me. And this is those things we talked about: uterine cancer, fibroid tumors, endometriosis, lots of discharge, foul-smelling discharge, lack of energy, can't think of creative ideas, lack of creativity, manifesting negative relationships. She's telling you this is what you believe about yourself. And she's giving you a chance through the pain of all that. See, the pain could be good because it's giving you an opportunity, and it's the womb's way of also talking to you and saying, do you want to record? Do you want to erase this tape so that we can bring some new things into it? Well, this is your opportunity, and that's when you start water fasting, dry fasting, juice fasting, raw food fasting. That's when you start taking your bath, sitting in the sun, sitting in the breeze, or putting your feet on the dirt, on the grass. You know, this is when you do those things. And also being silent. Like, this is a time to be quiet. How are you going to hear when you're talking all the time? How are you going to hear when you're always trying to figure it out? How are you going to hear when you're trying to come up with the answers instead of listening for the solutions? Because the womb also has that. Remember, she's ancient and she's very intelligent. So she also has answers for you for your every so-called day problems. She actually has the answer. But if you can't hear her, and if you're not listening because you're not taking time to do it, I mean, this womb series is so much about getting quiet, getting still, getting empty, emptying. It's this dry fast. I shouldn't even talk a lot, but emptying the vessel. And when you empty the vessel, first of all, just be okay with that there's an empty vessel, because we're so quick to fill things up. Because if we take our time filling up the vessel, we actually can take our time by choosing what we really want to fill it up with. So the empty vessel thing is like amazing and superb. And if you're not emptying your vessel through fasting or dancing or sun gazing or sitting under the moon or, eating right foods and doing raw, then you're full of stuff. And nobody wants to be full of stuff. Nobody wants to be around people that's full of stuff. So the womb really wants to be light, and not just in weight, but like the sun or like a light bulb going on. The womb wants to ingest the light. But the womb, remember, like in our meditation that we did on a conference call just this Sunday, the womb is light. In essence, when we talk about the womb, most of the time we're talking about it from a place of having a problem, of being dis-ease, of being dysfunctional. But in actuality, and this is what I really want to get to today, the womb is perfect. And the womb is filled with light. And it's the womb that is reflecting that end of the tunnel we talked about. And it's reflecting back light when you see that in the tunnel. It's really coming from you. And so start viewing her as a light-filled being. Start viewing her as that, as opposed to a sick or a diseased state. Like, we've done that for 2 weeks. So now for the next 2 weeks, we want to see her as a filled with light. And so what we want to do is imagine that right now our womb is filled with golden light. That's what Spirit is giving me. I'm sure it's the Sun giving it to me, which is Spirit. And that golden light is almost like, that we talk about the 7 energy centers in our body we call chakras, which means in Sanskrit means spinning wheel. Well, there's other chakras, and when you get to the 9th chakra, the 9th gate, we're talking about gold. We're talking about golden energy. We're talking about higher spirit, higher self energy. So we're going to bring that higher self energy through our crown chakra and all the way through our bodies until we get to our womb. And we're going to hold it there for 5 seconds. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And we're going to release that golden light into the ground, so back down our bodies, through our feet, back into the ground. Now we're going to use the ground energy, and we're going to bring that up through the soles of our feet, up through our sexual organs, and stop right to our womb. And we're going to imagine that this energy, believe it or not, is a brown kind of light. And I know that sounds odd, but brown represents groundedness. And so we're seeing it, and actually as it goes through the first chakra, which is the root chakra, which is red, and then it goes through the second chakra, which is where you are, which is orange, which is your sacral chakra, your womb. That's how we're getting the color brown. And so we want to imagine that, and we want to hold that brown light energy for also 5 seconds. So 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then we allow that energy to keep moving forward up and come out of our crown up into that 9th gate and further and back to the sun. And then we're going to bring the sun back into our bodies, into our crown, all the way. We're going to hold it in our womb again, that golden energy, for 5 seconds. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to release it. We're going to bring it back down through the body, out of the soles of the feet, into the ground. Ground energy, that orange, red, brown, grounding light. And we're going to do that repeatedly. And listen, you can do this even when you're not sitting. You can do this when you're taking a walk. You can do this while you're online at the supermarket. You can do it while you're reading and relaxing. You can do it anywhere. And the womb is going to so appreciate it. You can do it before you start asking, going through the tapes in your womb and start, deciphering the tapes. You can do it before that, and you can do it after. It also is a great way to kind of protect your chakras from people pulling on them, because when you're dealing with the womb, you're not at a weaker state, but you're at a more vulnerable state. Because when you open your womb, you're not just opening up those old wounds, you're opening up her to being drained by others. Because the womb is like, she's receptive, yeah. And her light is huge, and it shines, and it's such a beautiful thing, but you want to protect her. So that grounding exercise, the sun and the earth, is so important for you to do. So what I want you to do this week is go through the tapes and listen to them. Record them, write them down, and see what you want to keep and don't keep. Decide if you want to erase it altogether and record some new things that you can put in your tape, which is your womb, or if you want to just re-record it, that would be better to just start re-record over it, and so in a sense thus erasing it. I want you to do your meditation with the sun and the earth, so I want you to do that. Also, I want you to go on a talk fast. So don't talk for at least 2 to 4 hours every day. Just go within and be with yourself. And when you dry fast, you'll be able to do that a whole lot more. And be one with yourself. And the best part is, stop looking at your womb from a diseased state. That's something you got to heal, something you got to fix, that she's in trouble. It was okay for the first 2 weeks to have that perspective, because we wanted to not deny that she needed some attention. But in actuality, remember, she's filled with light, and she is a light-filled being, and so therefore she's perfect. So start to see your womb as total and absolute perfection. Yeah. It seems simple, but it's a lot. And I really want you to do the assignment, and I know you all will. Again, I want to thank you for all the people that's in the group, all the people that's holding on, all the people that's making that money happen each month so that you could be in the group, all the people that, I know that the people that's in the group now, even if the ones that don't have a chance to participate, or in a sense like on the group and writing on the group and asking questions, you all have sent me, little emails here and there and let me know that you are right here, and that even though if you're not as verbal, just because you're not as verbal don't mean you're not here. I know that the women that are in the group now, we are the core bunch. I don't see us losing not one more person, or one person leaving the group. I don't see it. I think that we have our core group, and because I feel like we have our core group, we're going to step it up a bit. We're going to step it up a bit in a good way, because remember, healing is fun. It's fun, it's luxurious, it's relaxing, it's sensual, it's beautiful, and I want to bring that all to you. So do your exercises, review the video, play it again and again if you have to, and know that I'm always here for you. If you have any concerns or questions, you can always send me an email about anything, and I'll do my best to answer it as quickly as I possibly can. Also, something, y'all, I just realized, because I'm smelling this jasmine in the air, and the dry fast is affecting me. Dry fasting makes you, fasting period, because water too. I feel so sensual, so alluring, so even sexual. I feel like a woman. I feel like a divine feminine essence. I feel alive. And I want you to feel it too. This is Nubia I, the raw food goddess, the womb priestess, and the holistic practitioner. And I'm sending you an abundance of total love for yourself. Peace and blessings.